Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We are here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway for the 18th race of the Asus for Public of Gamers Truck Series season. This is the second race in round one. Last week we had another new winner in the form of number 08 Eli Bright at New Hampshire. That race was kind of boring in my opinion. So a non-chaser won the race, which means everyone's still in points battling here to fight in this round. Current drivers outside of the top 8, aka drivers to be eliminated. Alexander Rowe is 2 points behind Danny Jones. LJ Toledo 3 points back. Marty Johnson 15 and Adam Samsel 16. Edwin Mendez 4 to the good. Eric Benson also 4 to the good. Joshua Sekuli is 10 to the good, Dylan Young 11, Zach Flickinger 15, Julius Anderson 18, and Philip Goldberg is 20 points to the good. Hometown driver Emmanuel Hartnett got the pole for today's race. Joshua Sekuli will start beside him in second as the highest chaser. Chris Dodd and Martin Suarez are in row 2. Zach Flickinger and Keith Rich, row 3. Alexander Rowe, LJ Toledo, row 4, with Marty Johnson and Eric Benson in row 5. A lot of chasers starting up front. Here's the rest of your lineup. There's Philip Goldberg, Danny Jones, Julius Anderson. Let's go trackside for the command to fire engines. So 54 laps of racing here tonight. Trucks will take 2 weeks off afterwards. And then they'll head to Talladega where they'll hold their elimination race for round 1. And Cup will hold their elimination race for round 2. And then the rest of the season will be matched up. Cup will be going to the same tracks as trucks from Talladega on, except for the penultimate races where trucks goes to Phoenix and Cup goes to Springfield for another dirt track race. But it's been pretty good season, I guess. You know, great Cup race last week at Papyrus. Zach Rogers got Dodge their first win. Became the 21st different winner. Anyways, we begin to take the green here. As a reminder, the trucks Chevrolet is on a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 race win streak. And they're looking to do it again here today. As Chris Dodd will peek out to the lead, and they're wrecking already. Zach Flickinger's around. Hartnett's turned. Oh, and they're piling up. Philip Parker. Oh, JT Bryant plows into him. And the 21 is stuck on the back of the 17. Chris Dodd leads him back. Well, that did not take long. Flickinger trying to get back on before... Oh, nope, he got towed. So already, yeah. And Hartnett got spun right out of the pole. It's not what he wanted. Let's take a quick look. Let's see if we can figure out what happened here. So Dodd makes the move to go 3 wide. And then Flickinger just squeezes in the Hartnett. He just squeezed right into the 13, and then Marty Johnson's got nowhere to go. And ends up getting himself and Hartnett turned. And does Johnson hit the wall? Yes, he does. Gets it pretty good. And they start bouncing up back here. There's Shelley, there's Parker around. And then there's Bryant, just bangs into the 21 and sends him up and over onto the 17, which caused them both to get towed. So not what Zach Flickinger needed here at Vegas. Looks like they're going to have to roll the dice at Talladega in 2 weeks. Getting ready to go back green flag racing. 5 laps in. Nobody really picks up people with damage. Flickinger and Parker a lap down. JT Bryant did retire. Top 10 rundown. Chris Dodd leads. Alexander Rowe second. Keith Rich third. Martin Suarez fourth. Eric Benson fifth. LJ Toledo sixth. Edwin Mendez seventh. Henry Williams eighth. Julius Anderson ninth. And Colin Denton rounds out the top 10. Well, it looks like it might be one of those races. I mean, Flickinger, I thought he was getting put 4 wide by Alexander Rowe, and that's what started that mess. So let's see if they can try and avoid 4 wide. Philip Parker obviously without power. Flickinger not so bad. Chris Dodd leading the field as they go side by side behind them. Pack is split due to the 21 of Philip Parker. Rowe goes wide. Sends it back to double file. Chris Dodd holding his own from the pack as they are 3 wide behind him. Chris Dodd is not getting hunted down at all with those guys side by side. Mendez and Benson side by side. Dodd's actually pulling away from them because they're side by side. It's causing that low line to lift. The longer they do this, the more they help Chris Dodd. Or perhaps not. Julius Anderson has a huge run. Oh, he really had to back out, though. Anderson had a gigantic run and had to back out. So Dodd pulls away yet again. Still 3 wide behind as Anderson goes wide into turn 1. That high line can't seem to get any grip at entry. Fitzwater trying to track down the 31 again, but Rowe's getting a run on the inside lane. Ooh, maybe someone will get a shot here. Here comes Alexander Rowe, restarted in second, making a move to the inside of Chris Dodd. We had to lift a lot. Dodd's going to get that high line run, but here comes Grayson Ace Vado and Edwin Mendez peeking to his inside, making it 3 wide. And they are 3 wide for the race lead. Dodd will lose top spot as Ace Vado leads it at the start-finish line. Still 3 wide. Now Edwin Mendez to the inside looking for the race lead. These guys will have to pit once tonight. Pushing this, will we get another wreck? Mendez leading now. LJ Toledo pushing him to the front. These are chase drivers up here. Some of them fighting for a win in advance to avoid the Talladega mayhem next week. They do not want to deal with it. As LJ Toledo takes the lead. What the heck? Oh, and they're going to catch Phil Parker. He is extremely off pace. As Toledo, Benson, they're going 1-2. Danny Jones is third. Oh, look at Ace Vader. Went all the way from the top back to the bottom. Let's see where they catch Phil Parker. Toledo's going to get around them. Benson moves up high. That's probably a good idea. Philip Parker is in the way, but Toledo gets away with a huge lead. Danny Jones, Fitzwater getting by. Mendez, Ace Vado's trying to push Parker to the middle. That does work. And now Philip Parker, you see, holding up that high line. Oh, and we got a wreck. Oh my goodness, Adam Samsel's stuck upside down. And your leader back to the line is LJ Toledo. Well. That brings out the second caution of the day on lap 17. And it looks like everyone's going to come to pit road, so let's take a look and see what the heck happened to the 40. Obviously, we know the 21 was holding these guys up. And it looks like John Arndt just gets too tight. No, he pulls away. Oh, Samsel gets into Suarez, and oh yes, Arndt does get into the 40. Suarez goes right head on into that outside wall, but Samsel is going to hit the back wall, and his truck gets stuck in the wall, and it flips him over backwards. Let's look at that one more time. Couldn't really get a good look. Watch Martin Suarez pound the inside wall. Man, what a lick. And then Samsel's going to get into the wall and gets flipped upside down. Yeah, and they're both done. Suarez nailed that inside wall. And there is no safer barrier down there, so it's a tough lick. Let's get you to the race restart. Getting ready to go back, green flag racing. Adam Samsel, Martin Suarez out of the race. Flickinger is 1 down still. Parker is down to 2 down. Your top 10 rundown drivers did pit. I think they're not going to be able to make it all the way to the end just yet. LJ Toledo leads. Eric Benson 2nd. Danny Jones 3rd. Edwin Mendez 4th. Grayson Ace Fatal 5th. Fitzwater 6th. Anderson 7th. Sorlin is 8th. Caudle 9th. And James Qualls 10th. So a good amount. Chasers up front trying to get a win. You know, it didn't happen last week for trucks, and it hasn't happened in the first 2 races for Cup. Just shows how vast the skill level is. Danny Jones hooking up to the back end of Flickinger. As Mendez is coming, he's going to make it 3 wide. Toledo does clear the 17. And the battle for second will start to rage yet again. Ace Vado with a big run up the middle. Benson trying to clear on the very high side. It's just trying. It just can't quite get enough of a run. Mendez will clear for second. Gonna start closing in on the Toledo. There's Philip Parker, already lost the draft. Dylan Young drafting his way back up. And Marty Johnson back here, not having the run he needs. Joshua Sekuli. Oh, and they're wrecking on the straightaway. Oh, Anderson just killed the wall. No caution. Caution's out. Anderson, Johnny Gardner, Alexander Rowe. Looks like Danny Jones was in it. Leading him back to the third caution will be LJ Toledo. Don't know what exactly happened there, but let's take a look. And it looked like it started with the 98. Let's see. Oh, they got 4 wide. Let's see. Sorlin sees a hole between the 14 and the 1, and he goes for it. Right here. And Cotto doesn't move up enough. No, right there, yes, he gives room. But there's just not enough room off the corner. You see, Ace Vado's clear right here. He's trying to get clear. Right there, Cotto turns down, doesn't know where the 98 is, gets into the 94. And then here we go. Boom. 98 and 94 make contact. That sends the 98 around. And Sorlin goes straight back down into Julius Anderson and sends him straight up into the safer barrier. Danny Jones has nowhere to go. He hits the 14. He gets into the wall. Caudle's going to just push by the 14 here. See the wrecking behind him. Ooh, Dylan Young barely gets by. Johnny Gardner's making contact. He's spinning. Let's see what exactly got Gardner spinning. Oh, he got into the back of the 98 of Ace Vado after he had gotten back going. But Julius Anderson is knocked out of the race. And he too will have to hope for a good finish next week at Talladega. But let's get you to the race restart. Getting ready to go green flag racing. Julius Anderson has retired from the race. And Eric Benson retired as well. I'm not sure why. I'm guessing maybe a mechanical failure or something. But the 00 has retired from the race. Danny Jones and Johnny Gardner on the tail end of the lead lap. They pit under a closed pit. Edwin Mendez is your race leader. As we come to the restart just past halfway. And I don't think we're done wrecking. That is not gonna work. Qualls and Merkel just push their way by 4 wide. As they draft quickly up to Flickinger. Mendez holds the race lead. But yes, Eric Benson retired, and I'm not sure why. As James Qualls will take the race lead. LJ Toledo right behind him. And now Toledo's looking for the race lead. On James Qualls. And speaking of Dodge, there's the only Ram of the race, of the series, Zach Rogers. The man who won at Papyrus last week after starting all the way in the back and avoiding about 3 different wrecks. Which is absolutely insane that he worked his way to the front that way. And now he sits here second in trucks, trying to get Ram a win in the truck series. And we have another yellow. Tony Green, whoa! Oh, Philip Parker piles in. Dejan Weeks, Philip Goldberg, Grayson Ace Fado again. Sorlin, Shearer, oh wow. Tony Green. Big wreck in turn 1. Ace, Mendez is your leader. Rose front end is demolished. 4th caution of the night. See if we can figure out where this starts. Highest car I see that wrecked is Goldberg. Oh wow, he brake checks for some reason and Tony Green gets right into him. That turns him up into Quentin Moore. They pound the outside wall, and Dejan Weeks has nowhere to go. Goldberg is sent around. Backs off the wall really hard. Ace Fado has nowhere to go. There's Rowe. Sorlin down into Bright. And the Shearer, I mean. Oh, and Shearer starts flipping. Sorlin gets flipped over. Oh, my God. Sorlin is doing a crazy barrel roll. So is Kev Shearer. Philip Parker slammed into it. What the heck was that? That was really weird. Goldberg just gets a really bad entry and hits the brakes to get the entry, and Green just slams into him. They're rubbing and they get turned up. There's Quentin Moore. You see he had nowhere to go. Gets backed into the wall, and right here's the first big hit. Wow. Nice Fado clobbers him. There comes Sorlin's going to get knocked down into Kev Shearer's path. And Kev Shearer flips from the apron. And then Sorlin, Shearer lands on his back end and starts flipping him over. What a crazy crash at Las Vegas. Oh, and it looks like Quentin Moore starts to get going again. And that's when Phil Parker just slams into his back end. Wow. Big wreck in turn 1. Let's take you to the next race restart. Still got like 20 laps left in this thing. Getting ready to go back. Green flag racing. Drivers out of the race now. Phil Parker, Kev Shearer, Jonathan Zorlin, Grayson Ace Fado, Tony Green, Quentin Moore, Philip Goldberg, Dejan Weeks, and Alexander Rowe. A lot of chasers getting involved tonight. Only 25 trucks remain. Flickinger, Gardner and Jones are all a lap down. Quick top 10 rundown. Mendez, Sanford, Fitzwater, Sack Rogers, Toledo, Qualls, Denton, Rich, Smith, Bright. That is your top 10 rundown. As we have 18 laps to go. Green flag back out in the air. It seems Gardner and Danny Jones have some decent damage. So we'll see how that affects them and possibly holding the field. Flickinger still keeping up the speed. Now this is Flickinger's happy that all these guys are wrecking and he's not in it because he's gained about 15 spots due to people retiring. He's up to 23rd now, which is a good rebound for the 17 team. As you can see, Johnny Gardner and Danny Jones have held up lead lap cars again. Same thing for Emmanuel Hartnett. Wait, where is Hartnett? Hartnett's back up in the lead pack, trying to go for a win. Remember, he got the pole. Looking at your chase drivers that have been knocked out of the race. Rowe, Goldberg, Anderson, Benson, and Samsel. That's about half the field right there. I think that was 6. Mendez is up front. Toledo is up front. Tyler Merkel's up here. Oh wait, Merkel's not in the chase. I'm dumb. Dylan Young's up front. There's Flickinger. There's Sekuli, there's Johnson. And that's really it. Danny Jones is a lap down. So Mendez leading. So it's finally calmed down here, coming to 13 to go. Not as many trucks left in the field. Can't really get 4 wide much anymore. And here comes Charles Sanford looking for the race lead. Help from the 8. The 11 of Colin Denton. Denton in the Cup Series chase, looking for a win in the Truck Series. Ooh, he had to back out big time, kind of like what happened in turn 1 with Philip Goldberg. Sanford leads, Denton. There's Fitzwater. Well, Mendez went really high. And Marco now lifting. It seems the worn tires, they can't hold the bottom that great. Sanford leads as Denton tries to pull back up to his back bumper. 10 to go next time by. Ten laps to go for Charles Sanford in the race lead. Denton's still in second place. Eli Bright trying to make his way up through the field. He's looking for 4th place, but he lifts extremely. Wait, so much. It's crazy to me because it seems like nobody can stick the bottom anymore. Fitzwater with a huge run. Mendez back to 6th. Toledo 7th. You know, they're just side by side back here a bit. Henry Williams is going to make it 3 wide. He lifts. You can't hold the bottom. Nobody can hold the bottom anymore. They're about to catch Gardner and Danny Jones. Bright trying to pass. Qualls on the high side. Here comes Fitzwater. He's going to look low on Denton. Watch. Can't hold it. Tire wear seems to be non-existent for the high side, but the bottom line is not getting anywhere. Sanford has to slow up for the traffic. He peaks low. Blocks Denton. Qualls just hit the brakes like Goldberg did. Bright will move to the inside of Denton. They're going slower this time. Inside line might work a bit more. James Qualls is going to push the 08 up to 2nd. As they're going 3 wide in the back. Almost 4 wide. Oh, boy, that was close. Henry Williams got all kinds of out of whack. As we're watching back here, because if they wreck, the race will end under caution. They're 4 wide again. Nope, they're 3 wide. 4 to go. They're 4 wide again. Oh, man. Danny Jones has been cleared. Johnny Gardner remains. And it looks like they're gonna keep it green. Holy crap. Sanford still leads. Bright trying to go 2 in a row. Last driver to do that, Alexander Rowe. And Chris Dodd did it once in Cup. Sanford trying to give Chevy their 13th straight win. Bright wants to go back-to-back, get that 13th straight win. Toyota wants to snap the streak. Here comes James Qualls looking for 2nd. Oh, and the bottom line's getting a bit better at holding again. Denton's going to help out the 15. 2 to go for Sanford. 1 in the Cup Series back at Watkins Glen. Looking to get that first Truck Series victory and extend the Chevy win streak in trucks. But Qualls has other plans. Can he get to him? Oh, he's there. Can Toyota snap the streak? White flag in the air at Vegas. Qualls is looking and he had to back up big time. That's going to cost him. Big checkup. Denton's going to go for 2nd. That's going to seal the deal. No way. Qualls makes a big mistake in turn 1. Didn't want to run over the 8, I guess. But that cost him. Charles Sanford will win at Las Vegas. And we have our 2nd straight non-chase winner and our 17th different winner on the season. James Qualls will come up short in 2nd. Colin Denton gets 3rd. Matt Thiessen 4th. Eli Bright 5th. So no chasers in the top 5. Edwin Mendez, highest chaser of the night, in 6th. Dylan Young 7th. Those are the 2 chasers in the top 10. Zach Rogers gets 8th. Fitzwater 9th. And Henry Williams will round out the top 10. Well, that was kind of an okay race. But I will see you guys next week. Or 2 weeks. No, 3 weeks. 3 weeks. 3 weeks from today, we'll be at Talladega for the Truck Series for the elimination race of round 1. But until then, I will see you guys tomorrow. I'm not even sure what the exact time will be since we're going to be overseas. But I will see you guys at Milano for the first elimination race in the Cup Series chase.